So I'm in my daughter's room today. I really wanted a chance to sit down and record this video, and I couldn't find anywhere in my apartment that didn't have laundry behind me or some kind of mess in the background. So this is what we've got. I really wanted an opportunity to sit down and share with you the habits that I have set and so far stuck to in 2024. In my previous videos, if you do watch them, I've been talking a lot about trying to work systems and habits into my routine to make life a little bit easier, to help me achieve my goals. I'm a mum of 2 kids. My youngest is 11 months, my eldest is about to turn 4, and I am home with them mostly on my own, 7 days a week. I do get help from my parents. My daughter goes to preschool now twice a week, so that allows me to get a couple of things done, but more often than not I'm here with my 2 children, and I find it very difficult to achieve a lot of things. I find it very difficult to maintain a kind of sense of calm myself, because I struggle when my environment's messy, when I'm not eating well, when I know I've not done exercise. There are times where I feel so frustrated at myself because I had a vision of the type of mum that I was going to be. I don't know that I have coped so much in terms of mum life as I imagined I would. So the things that I imagined myself doing, like baking, like going to the park, sitting and doing crafts with my kids, playing, I don't do as much as I'd like. And I feel like part of that is because of all the things that I think need to get done before I can do those things. I have this idea that my environment has to be spotless, and I have to have done exercise. I have to have worked. I have to have completed everything on my to-do list before I can take some time to sit down. And obviously if you have kids, you know that that's not how it works. So I have been trying to think of ways, or trying to find ways that are going to help me overall improve. I'm not expecting to have a spotless house, but I want to overall improve the way that I operate day to day so that I can work towards my personal goals, but also be the mum that I really want to be. I think it's important to say that when I talk about being the mum that I really want to be, mum life is harder than I ever imagined it to be, ever. Like, there is no question about that. I've got a lot of growing to do. I'm only 3 and almost 4 years into being a mum, and I have a lot of growing to do. But I know that I can work towards more. This is no criticism of mums who operate different to me, or don't, when I talk about the ideal in terms of being a mum, I'm talking about for myself. I want to focus more on spending quality time with my kids. So I've started to implement some habits in 2024. Today is the 13th of January. We are 13 days into the new year. And for most people that's nothing. For me, it's actually a pretty big deal because I don't stick to things for very long. And I thought I'd share with you some habits that I have started to implement. They are 5 little things that I've been doing that I feel like are making a big difference. So number 1, I've been ingredient prepping. Now, I don't cook. Let me start again. I don't like to cook. So my version of cooking might be what most people consider cooking. I grew up in a household where there was proper dishes made from scratch, sauces and pastas and that kind of stuff. That's not me. And I'd love that. That's maybe like the next chapter of me. But right now, I want to have practical meals that are healthy. I don't like to buy pre-packaged things personally, but at the same time, I want my kids to enjoy their meals. So I'm trying to find ways to avoid cooking as much as possible, as in long, me standing in the kitchen an hour each day preparing meals. I really don't enjoy that. So meal prepping is not something that is for me. I think for meal prepping, you actually need a good chunk of time aside a week where you can be alone, you can be organizing, your dishes for the week. It involves a lot of time, a lot of cooking, a lot of preparation, and then you set it and forget it, which I think is great and it works for some. For me, even that time I don't have. I can't be standing in the kitchen for a few hours on a Sunday, let's say, while my kids just entertain themselves. It doesn't really work that way. Also, I just don't love the cooking process. So what I have discovered that really works for me is ingredient prepping. And what I mean is just having stuff in the fridge that's already chopped up and ready to go. What I've been doing is I might grab a head of cabbage, a head of lettuce, some carrots. I will grate them and I'll just have them in containers ready to go. Then I might fry up a bit of chicken and make sure that I've fried up enough that it's going to last a couple of days. With those ingredients, then I go and make something else. So I might make a burrito bowl and I'll chuck, all of those grated veggies into it, boil some rice, get the chicken, have some avocado, and then that's a whole dish. I might grab the same ingredients and do like a coleslaw and something else. I'm finding that with these ingredients already prepped and ready to go, one, I'm being actually a little bit more creative with what I serve. The second thing is that the healthy stuff in my fridge is now the stuff that I reach for first because it's already ready to go. So if I am going to have, a lazy girl dinner once I've put my kids to sleep, ordinarily I'd grab a bowl of rice, some tuna, some mayonnaise, and that would be my meal. Now I see containers of veggies all chopped up or grated. I add all of that to my meal, and that becomes the bulk of what I'm getting in. So if you're anything like me, ingredient prepping is the way to go. So that's the first habit that I found has been really helpful. Every time I do grocery shopping, when I do come home with vegetables, I'm not leaving them in the fridge to die anymore, because that was Lorena of 2023. They would sit there. I'd be like, oh, that broccoli is not looking too good. Then I'd have to, for some reason, I'd have to build up into actually cooking it. Whereas if it's chopped up and ready to go, in every meal, I just grab a little portion, and it seems to work. The second habit that I have done consistently from day one of this year, and I still cannot get used to it, I'm still struggling, is a cold blast at the end of every shower. I'm trying to build up to 30 seconds. It's really hard for me. I don't know how people get into ice baths and not completely struggle to breathe. At the end of every shower, I do so far, I've gotten to 20 seconds. I do a 20-second cold blast. And like I said, I'm trying to work my way up. 30 seconds is my next goal, but it is every single time. It's not sometimes, it's not if I've got time, it is every single time without fail. The cold blast helps regulate your nervous system. It's a weird mindfulness for me because I have to be so focused on breathing and not switching the tap off and actually handling the uncomfortable sensation that it gives me a moment of total mindfulness, even though it's a few seconds. When I leave the shower, I feel completely awake. It's a really great sensation. So as much as it's uncomfortable for a short period of time, it has a really long-lasting effect for me. So I highly recommend, if you're someone that really doesn't get much of a chance to yourself and you struggle to regulate, a cold blast at the end of the shower, for me, is really working. The next habit that I've gotten into, which I think is a pretty obvious one and a lot of people do, but I find it really helpful. First thing I do when I get out of bed is chuck on my activewear. Now, I've been doing that for a long time, but without the intention of exercising. So I haven't factored in exercise into my activewear. Obviously, postpartum, the thing that fits, leggings, chuck on a big baggy t-shirt, and then I'd be comfortable for the day. I wouldn't be feeling great about what I'd be wearing. I wouldn't be looking good, but I'd be feeling comfortable. Over time, my focus has become more on working out. So I will put on the type of activewear that I would wear to the gym. Slightly different to leggings and a big baggy t-shirt. Even if I was in my leggings and a baggy t-shirt, if I was to then go and do a workout in the gym, I would put on a proper sports bra and I'd be feeling slightly nicer, I guess, and more supported. So now I do that the first thing when I get up, I chuck on my activewear. Because I've chucked on my activewear, I'm already telling myself that I'm going to exercise. And that's the next thing, is that I track when I work out. In my last video, I shared a diary that I had bought from Kmart. I love it. It was $8. It is simple. It's just what you need. There's nothing fancy to it. But what I like about it is that on each week there is a to-do list and there's also habit tracking. And habit tracking, in my last video, I said, something I probably wouldn't ordinarily use. It is the one thing that I've used the diary more for so far in 2023. The fact that I get to mark off a single dot after I've done a workout makes me feel so accomplished. So I track when I work out. Just ticking, yes, I've done a workout today, has really helped me. I get really excited to be able to do that at the end of a workout. So tracking when I work out is the other habit that I've gotten into. The moment I finish exercising, I will go over to my diary and I'll put a little dot, and it makes me feel good. My workouts, if you don't know, I don't really get out of the house too much. I do a couple of Reformer Pilates classes here and there when I can get to them, but my main form of exercise are workouts on YouTube. I also have an Emily Sky Fit subscription, which I love. It really depends on what I can get done. It really depends on the time of the day. It depends on how my kids are, how long I think they're going to let me, focus on a workout. If it's, a couple of short bursts of 15 minutes, 15 minutes, 15 minutes, and you can find lots of 15-minute workouts on YouTube that focus on one area of your body, that's what I do. And then at the end of a 15-minute workout, I gauge, are my kids going to let me do a little bit more? Yep, okay, I'll chuck on another 15-minute. And that's how I've been operating. And it's honestly been working really well. What has really helped is that my kids see me doing this every single day now. There's no question about the fact that mummy's going to chuck on her activewear. There's no question about the fact that mummy's going to roll out her exercise mat and do a workout. That's just a daily occurrence now. And I thought it was going to take them a lot longer. The problem's not necessarily entirely solved, but it has been a very long time that I've been trying to get an opportunity to exercise with my kids around, because that's my reality. Expecting to be able to leave the house to work out on a daily basis is not my reality at the moment. I thought it would take them a long time to get used to the fact that I need to do exercise and they need to let me do it. And honestly, it's been a very quick, my son's 11 months. I don't know how much he understands. 9 times out of 10, he's happy to play independently while I work out. Every now and then I have to pause what I'm doing, go check in, and continue. My daughter, she either joins me or she plays with her brother. They're next to me. Everyone's happy. And so far, so good. Like I said, it's 9 times out of 10. Sometimes I have to stop the workout halfway through and go and tend to my kids, and then I might pick it up later on. But the fact that I've just been doing it every day, and that's been triggered by me chucking my activewear on every single day. So far, I haven't set a time of the day that I get it done. I try and do it in the morning. It's been going well. So and tracking it has helped remind me every day that I need to do it. And the last tiny habit that I have really just naturally been doing as a byproduct of tracking when I exercise daily, I have been checking my diary daily. And checking my diary daily has brought my to-do list to my face every single day. It has brought my goals to my face every single day. And it is the check-in that I really need. So just as almost a habit stack of, I exercise after a workout, I go and mark it off in my diary. I've got my diary there in front of me. So it's almost like a default kind of thing that happens on a daily basis, which has been really working for me. Historically, I've been the type of person to set a goal, to talk about goals, to have really big ideas of things that I want to achieve. Either they're too much of a big chunk and then I just let them float off in a cloud and they're like some nice fun idea, or I get really focused on it and then suddenly I miss a day or I forget to do one part and it just fizzles out. And that has been me for 37 and a bit years. And I really want to change that, and I'm understanding a little bit more about the importance of daily tweaks. Atomic Habits is something that I've been reading. I still haven't finished. I'm a slow reader, but I'm getting through it. I'm actually picking it up and continuing to read. I never used to read, and now I'm trying really hard to build. I think it's because the book makes sense to me. I'm learning every single day about the importance of small stuff. It is so significant. It's almost more significant than the big stuff. Those are the habits that I've stuck to for 2024 so far. There are lots of things I still want to be working on. My screen time is not ideal. That's really the next thing that I want to find a way to address. And it's a tricky one because I am trying to work on goals like YouTube that involve screen time, that involve being on a screen. I'm now doing working and that involves being on my computer. I spend a lot of time at night settling babies, and that's my problem time. My problem time is in the dark of the night. I pull out my phone and I'm trying to keep myself awake while I settle babies, and so I end up scrolling, and that is not a good thing. That's something that I really want to be working on. So there's some of the habits that I have started and stuck to for the first 13 days of 2024. Let me know in the comments below if there's anything that you've changed as a New Year's resolution that you've stuck to. How's it going for you? What are the changes that you've noticed? I will make an update video in maybe a few weeks' time to see what the longer term effects of some of these habits and maybe some new habits that I've picked up along the way. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please make sure to like it if you did. Subscribe to my channel. You'd be doing me a huge favor if you do. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye!